Welcome back. In this lesson, we will be doing our listen and learn Hebrew for Exodus chapter 29, verse 33 and 34. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go a bit faster pace for this lesson. It's the second lesson of the day today. And for those of you who find it too fast, you can slow it down in the gearbox, all right? So let's go a little bit faster paced on this one. Okay, so let me just, I think I'll cant it for you for our overview. ואכלו otam אשר kupar bahem למלא את ידם לקדש אותם וזר לא יאכל כי קודש הם. All right. ואכל u. Okay. So achal meaning eat, achel u meaning they ate, but vav conversa, ve'achelu, and they ate, or and they will eat, and they shall eat, otam, them, asher, aleph shin resh, which, kupar. Now the verb is kaf, pei, resh. Kafar. Kind of a funny word to me. Now kafar means to cover over, right? To cover. And in the piel, kiper, with a dagesh in the pei, it would mean to, from Akkadian kiparu, we understand to purge, which is really useful to know that it can have this meaning of to purge. That's kind of the underlying meaning, because then when we say, when the text says to kiper et hamizbeach, to atone for the altar doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Oftentimes the verb's translated atone. But if we understand it as to purge the altar, i.e. of its impurities, then that works. Now this is not a PL. If you, by the way, index takers, please make a note. I'm going to put a card here. I'd like to put a card here of the menorah video from the language snippets. So there's a video over there. You should see it over here. I'll link to that if you like. Not during the premiere of this, but later on, maybe tomorrow, after we get all the edits and we get the topic indexing done. So this pu'al binyan is the mirror image branch on the menorah of the PL binyan. I could just show you here. Maybe I'll just do a real quick review. Fast, huh? So if you have the menorah, we have 7 branches, right? Okay. So the side on the left is active, and the side on the right is passive. Active meaning I did something, like I hit a ball. So I am actively in the verb, the subject is active. But if you say the ball was hit, the ball being the subject, the verb is passive. So call is the basic verbal form we learned for verbs. Okay. And then its passive form is nifal. And then PL, that is our intensive form of a verb. And then pu'al, you see it's kind of like mirror image, menorah, arm. It's the passive intensive form. And then hifil is causative. And hofal, or hufal, is the passive. And then the one that's special is the tallest branch in the middle, that's hitzpa'el, which is reflexive, like to do to oneself. So that's just kind of a quick overview if you don't want to go watch that video. So anyway, so if kiper, how we usually see this verb, means to purge or atone, then kupar would be the passive of that, means to be atoned or to be purged. Okay? So, ve'achelu otam, so they shall eat them, asher, with which kupar shall be purged or shall be atoned, bahem, by means of hem, by them. Or you could literally say in them, lemale et yadam. We have an infinitive here, lamed, to, and then the PL verb, mile, and I've done these little colorings here on the pu'al. You see I took the, if you're a visual learner, I'm sorry, you can't hear this if you're just auditory learning, which is fine. But if you're visual, you'll see I have kind of glowing neon green kibbutz, the dots that make the sound. And then I have the in the word pu'al also, so you can see that that's the kind of the vowel pattern we have. And then I should have done the as a color for the a there, but I just didn't think about it. So here, same thing. The a, I meant to colorize the tseri also here. I thought I did that, strange. So this is a PL, so male, right? You normally would be mile, but this is infinitive form. So le male, to fill up, and I talked about this a little bit in the last lesson. So check the lesson before this if you want to see how this relates to the Messiah's fulfillment of the law. Le male et aleph tav yadam, the hand of them. And of course, this is a Hebrew idiom. To fill the hand means to ordain a priest, right? There's some speculation that there might have been some lost information about a holy object, a sacred object, that perhaps they would fill their hands with or put into their hands, and that would make them holy, because there are some holy objects where if you touch them, they do render the subject holy, like the altar. If you touch the altar, you become holy. All right, so let's continue on. Le kodesh, another PL. Here I have it colorized better. PL. So kodesh with the dagesh in the middle. So kadash is to be holy. Kidesh in the PL, that's that intensive binyan from the active. So we have call, intensive PL, active, is to either, sometimes it can mean to sanctify, though usually that's the hifil use for that, hikdish, but often it's got the meaning of to designate as holy, right? To appoint as holy. So le kadesh, to designate as holy, or to sanctify, otam, them, meaning Aaron's sons and Aaron himself. Vezar lo yokhal. Now a zar, zayin resh, an alien, lo, not yokhal. So the yo is he, ochal, aleph, kaf, lamed, to eat. He shall not eat. Now zar, this is a very flexible word, alien. It doesn't really just mean alien like phone home. I'm just kidding. It doesn't mean like just a non-Israeli. It means anyone who was not supposed to be there, right? So certain Levites, actually Levites in general, right? This is for the priest to eat from, right? And even other Israelis would be considered a zar. In fact, it might be better to translate this here as an encroacher, the zar, and encroacher, lo yokhal, shall not eat. And we could infer of it. Ki kodesh hem, for holy are they. Okay? Let's go through 33 one more time. And just do your best. Slow it down later if you need to. I want to get to the next verse as well, which is also, I believe, a little lengthy. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's even lengthier than this one. So, all right. So I'm just going to read through it now and do your best to translate. Ve'achelu, and they shall eat otam, them, asher, with which kupar shall be purged or shall be atoned for, bahem, by means of them, lemale et yadam, to fill up the hand of them, not to coordinate, to ordain them, lekadesh otam, to sanctify them, vezar lo yokhal, but an encroacher shall not eat it, ki kodesh hem, for holy are they. Okay, let's get to our next verse. Verse 34. And let's I'm not going to scan this one for the interest of time. Let's just break it apart. Ve'im yivateir. Ve'im. And im, aleph mem, if yivateir. Now this is the verb yatar. Yod, tav, resh. It's a peyod verb, and oftentimes when a verb starts with a yod will either disappear or become a vav, all right? And that's what we have here. We have a vav, and there's a nun inside of that vav. In ancient Hebrew, this would have been yin vater, but the nun assimilated, so there's two vavs, or two ancient wows there, if you will, okay? So passive, that on the menorah, I'll just show you real quickly. Let's go back. So call is the general active, right? And nifal was the passive form of that. Okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to write on the screen there. That was an accident. Okay. So, ve'im yivateir. Now, if there will remain mibsar hamilu'im. We have a construct chain. Mib, that's min, from basar, so that's from the word basar, meat or flesh of hamilu'im, of the filling up, right, of the ordination. So if some of the ordination meat will remain, umin, and from halechem, the bread. So if some of the, you can sometimes render min as some, and some of the bread, ad, until haboker, until the morning, Vesarafta, then saraf, sin, resh, pei, for those of you who are listening only. Saraf is to burn. A nice mnemonic is think about a seraphim, the seraphim, right? Many believe the seraphim to be like fiery angels. Okay? So sarafta is you burnt. Vesarafta is you shall burn. Et han notar. Et, aleph tav, we don't translate. Han notar, the remainder. Notar, it's related to yivateir, right? See, han notar, it's what was left. This is actually just formed from, it's a nifal participle, in case you care about what that is. So it's, again, from yatar, to remain. Ba'esh. And if you're a visual learner, I've drawn a little hay here to show that it was ha'esh, the fire, and the hay got kicked out by the bait, like an ancient Israeli taking over Canaan and kicking out the Canaanites, but keeping their houses. But the footprint, the house is still there. We still have the from ha. So b is in or with, the aish, aleph shin, the fire. Okay, so just to repeat the last part, vesarafta, and shall burn you, et han notar, the remnant, ba'esh, in, so b, in the aish, fire. Lo, lamed aleph, not, ye achel. So we have another nifal. The verb is achal, aleph kaf lamed, and in ancient Hebrew it would have been yin achel. But the noon could not assimilate into the aleph, so instead of ye, we get compensatory lengthening. That vowel lengthens from ye to ye. So the ye, whenever you see one of these, in our case blue, you see an affix on the verb, on an imperfect verb at the beginning of the word, and it's got a tseri underneath, that's always going to be a mark of the nifal, okay? Otherwise, a dagesh in that first root letter of the word. So, ye, he will, achel, be eaten. So, lo, ye achel, not he will be eaten. It will be eaten, right? Meaning the bread and the remainder of the ordination meat. Ki, kaf yod, because, kodesh, who? Kodesh, holy is who? Hey, shurik aleph is he or it. Hope it's not too fast for you guys. Remember, even if you're here in the premiere with us, you can still slow it down. Just click that gearbox over in the upper right-hand corner and click playback speed, and you can slow me down. Okay? All right, let's go through verse 34 again. Try to translate yourself this time. Before I do. Ve'im, that's aleph mem. Now, if yivateir, and it's if you're just listening, so yod vav with a dagesh, tav resh. So yatar is to remain. This is a nifal. So ve'im yivateir, and if shall remain, mibsar hamilu'im, mib, that's min, merged with basar, became mibsar. So from or some of the basar hamilu'im, the flesh, the meat of the filling up, right? Filling up of the hands, so of the ordination. Umin, and from halechem, the bread, ad, until haboker, the morning. Vesarafta, then shall burn you, et han notar. Han, the notar, the remnant. Ba'esh, so that's b, esh, b, in or with, the esh, the fire. Lo, not, ye achel, from the ancient Hebrew form yin achel, that's a hint. Yei achel, it shall be eaten. So look, yei achel, it shall not be eaten. Ki kodesh, who? Because holy is it. Yes. Remember, you got to think like Yoda. So holy is it, or holy is he. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. And again, congratulations, happy. Well, I guess it's no longer um, inauguration day in the States, but for us here in the Philippines watching in the morning, it was interesting. So really happy about that. I hope Hashem is really fixing to bless the world economically and with peace. May all of those things come speedily and soon in our days. And if you like the work that I'm doing here, please consider becoming a patron, or you can give a one-time gift if you prefer over at paypal.me/Hebrew literacy. That's also fine. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our study in the prophets. Shalom, shalom.